Bernie's Green New Deal to go 100% renewable in 10 years would destroy America. Hello, this is Robert Romano, Vice President of Public Policy with Americans for Limited Government, dailytorch.com. Hit that subscribe button. Today we're going to be talking about Bernie Sanders. He's the unquestioned front runner for the Democratic nomination. He's got a double-digit lead nationally, according to the Morning Consult, 29% to Biden at 19%, Michael Bloomberg at 18%. Buttigieg is not really registering yet, despite winning Iowa and having a strong showing in New Hampshire. But if he wins some subsequent contests, that'll probably change. And these are still some early results coming out in the wake of Iowa and New Hampshire. But Sanders is clearly in a commanding position for the Democratic nomination. So let's take a look at some of his proposals. And that includes the Green New Deal. This is a plan to radically transform the U.S. economy, go 100% renewable, end coal and natural gas and petroleum usage. It's also going to basically destroy a bunch of jobs. He says he's going to create 20 million jobs. I think we're going to probably lose some jobs. You're not going to be working in the energy industry anymore. If you drive trucks or car or need to drive around to get to work, that's all going to change. You're going to need new electric vehicles. Air travel will have to be severely curtailed. So I think that this is going to slow down the global economy. And it's you're going to have to take about 63.6% of your electricity grid offline to replace it with hydropower, wind, and solar. But that only makes up 17% of the grid right now. So you're going to have to expand all those things. And get rid of natural gas, coal, and petroleum. Bernie, he says he wants to get rid of nuclear as well. I think that that's a kind of a catastrophe here. But why would we get rid of nuclear? I don't know. But there it is. Phase out the use of non-sustainable sources. The plan will stop the building of new nuclear power plants to find a real solution to our existing nuclear waste problem. Okay, well, so there goes another 19% of the grid. So you're going to have to replace, all told, about 82% of the U.S. electricity grid. Also, you're going to have to rebuild every household in America, and also every other building will also have to be upgraded to no longer emit any carbon. Home heating and hot water heaters via natural gas and oil would all have to be replaced. So will your stove if it runs on fire. Are you ready for winter yet? Also, every car and truck, more than 250 million that run on gasoline or diesel, they're going to have to be replaced. Convenient air travel, that'll have to be banned. The oil, coal, and gas industries will have to be eliminated. To get across the country, you'll probably have to take a train or something. Overseas, probably a boat, I guess. You're not going to be flying there. So I say this is a dagger pointed at the heart of middle America. If you commute to work in a car, do you live in a single family home? Can you afford tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars for upgrades to your home? I don't even know if there'll be an upgrade, but basically you're going to have to get your home heating replaced. You're going to have to get new electricity in your neighborhood. So they're going to have to build a bunch of windmills or solar fields or something like that in order to get electricity from now on. Do you work in the energy industry? Do you drive trucks for a living? Not anymore. I think you'll have to go to job retraining camp. Bernie's a socialist, so maybe he'll have job retraining camps. The Green New Deal, basically, it's going to change everything. I think it's going to compel millions of Americans to move to warmer areas to survive the federal government, basically trying to unilaterally end the industrial revolution. Now, the U.S. emits about 5.1 billion of carbon dioxide every year. That's in 2017. The rest of the world is another 30 billion metric tons or so. So in order for Sanders's plan to have global climate emissions by 2030, he's going to have to get an agreement with China, Russia, Europe, basically the rest of the world that's doing most of the carbon. And even if you could get an agreement, I think it would be a tyrannical one. And so we got better hope that this really doesn't come together. And how do we intend to persuade the world to commit economic suicide? Like, how is this in anyone's interest? It's not going to be to their economic interest to do this. And so nations are probably going to act in their own self-interest, meaning that the deal, whatever deal or agreement is made, probably won't be enforced and will certainly not have the global climate emissions in time for 2030. And there's also the opportunity cost to consider. So, say we don't do a Green New Deal and we just continue innovating with the existing technologies that we have, and then keep the economy growing and on a sustainable trajectory. What technological advances will we be foregoing by turning the lights out and putting millions of Americans in the dark and the cold? I wonder. I mean, those are called opportunity costs. You say, "Oh, we're going to go in this different fork in the road. We're gonna turn left. We were going to go right. Now we're going left." You don't know what you're going to miss along the way by going through the Green New Deal, and whatever innovations, say in the field of carbon capture, might have been achieved had you not done the Green New Deal, may never come to pass now. So, what improvements to our lives will be foregone in the pursuit of this utopia by Bernie Sanders? Who I think here's 538. They're saying Sanders has a 1 in 3 shot of being the nominee right now. And then it's just a question of who he's going to be up against. I think it's Buttigieg because he came strong out of Iowa, but we'll see. Bernie's the front runner. And it's going to really, cause Americans to take a second look at this Green New Deal. I think that we really need to be on top of this as a country. We need to make certain that we're not going to be decapitating the U.S. economy and making this, not such a nice place to live anymore because we don't access technology anymore. Bernie's going to put all of these natural gas companies, all these oil companies out of business. And I think that's just a shame. You're going to millions of Americans depend upon the modern carbon emitting economy to get to work every day. We use carbon emitting equipment to do all the farming and everything like that. Air travel depends on it. All of the ships that move cargo around, they're dependent upon carbon-based energy in order to make the global economy function and to get products where they're supposed to be going. We're at the speed of convenience right now. You have companies like Amazon that'll do same-day delivery. Is all that going to change now in this new Green New Deal economy? What's going to be left of the economy? I think that's a real question, and I'll leave you with the close here. In 2020, Americans will have a choice to make about which future they want to raise their children in. One where the government dictates allowances and rations resources, forces you to rebuild your homes and every other building in the country under Bernie Sanders, or one where Americans get to keep their liberty and the freedom to harness the gifts that God gave humans to keep the economy growing. That's the commentary. This is Robert Romano, Vice President of Public Policy with Americans for Limited Government, Daily Torch.com. Hit that subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications, and have a good day.